everybody. In this video I'm going to show you how to set up a recurring Zoom meeting inside of Canvas for the LA Community College District. So to do so, you're going to log into Canvas and click on the course that you want to set up these recurring meetings in. The next step is on the course navigation list on the left. You will select Zoom. And from here, in the upper right corner, you will select Schedule a New Meeting. And always start at the top and work your way down. So for the topic, you want to type in a meaningful descriptive title. So if these are weekly office hours, I would say weekly office hours. They could be lectures, they could be anything you want. Just give it a meaningful title for both you and your students so they know what they're joining when they click join. So after the topic, you can write a description. I'm going to leave that blank. The next one is the date and time. So if you know you're meeting on a certain day of the week, you would click on this, and let's say we're doing our Zoom office hours on Friday. I would pick the first Friday of the course, or whatever the Friday is that's coming up, and then you would select the time. So let's say we're doing this at 3 p.m. I could scooch over to 3 and then choose p.m. And then you can use a duration. If you want, you can change the duration. I don't think it matters too much. You can always go over whatever it says. Time zone, I'm going to leave that as Pacific. And then here is the checkbox for recurring meeting. And if you select this, it will let you do this every Friday. But to make it every Friday, you're going to have to click right here where it says recurrence. See how it says daily? I don't want to do a Zoom every single day. So I'm going to change that to weekly, and it's going to repeat every week. And then here is where I would choose the date. So I'm going to pick Fridays, and make sure you uncheck any other dates. Unless you're doing it a couple days a week, then you would select whatever those days are. So if it were a Wednesday, Friday, I would do that. But for this demo, I'm just going to choose Friday. So it's going to be weekly every Friday. It's going to repeat once a week on Friday. And then the next selection here is end date. So you can choose the last day of the semester if you want. You can click in there, and if we're doing this all up until the end of the semester, which is June 6th, I can pick that. And that'll make sure that it's going to be every Friday until the end of the semester. And it even says up above, it says every week on Friday until June 6th, which means there'll be 16 Zoom meetings from now until that date. You can also select, if you just wanted to do something else, you could pick a number of how many meetings you want to do, but I like the date myself. And then you can select other features below. If you like the waiting room, you can keep that checked. If you want users to be able to join before you show up, you can uncheck that. That means all my participants can join whenever they want. They don't have to wait for me to start it and let them in the room, which can be extra work for you. But if you like having control, you can keep that checked. I'm going to uncheck it. I'm going to let my students in whenever they want. And then here you have other options. Video, I always leave my video on when I'm the host. I let my students see me, but for them I turn the video off, just in case they have something going on in the background that they don't want to share with the class. Maybe they have children. I give them the opportunity to turn the camera on if they want to. I'm not going to force it on them, and I suggest you do that as well. For audio, I leave this alone, telephone and computer. That way, if a student has a problem with their computer, they can phone into the meeting on their phone and just listen. They won't be able to see anything, but at least that's an option if they have computer problems. And then here you have meeting options. You can enable join before host, which if the waiting room's unchecked, then they can join early. I'm going to leave that unchecked because I don't really want them joining until I start the meeting. So that's a good option to leave unchecked. And then mute participants upon entry. I always leave this checked just in case there's a dog barking or some noise in the background. I'm going to leave my students muted. They can always unmute themselves later if I call on them. But when they first join, I'm leaving it muted. And then the other stuff I'm going to leave unchecked. If you're recording the meeting and you tend to forget to hit the record button, you can choose this record the meeting automatically. But bear in mind that means that as soon as you start the meeting, Zoom will start recording it. So if you want to give yourself some time to set up stuff, I wouldn't check this unless you really want to record right at that moment. And then once you've got all of this stuff set up, I never add alternative hosts, but you could. If you have a guest coming in or a teacher's assistant, you can add them as a host, but I'm going to leave that blank. And then once we've got this set up the way we like it, I will click on Save. And that's all I need to do. And now, if I click on Zoom again, it's going to show all of the meetings, at least as many as will fit on the page for this week. And then you can see you have other pages in the lower right corner. And then every Friday at around 3, a little bit before, I will come back to Canvas, click on Zoom, and you'll see I have a Start button. You'll have a Start button next to the next meeting that's going to. So once I'm ready to start the meeting, I can come back here and click on Start. If for some reason I want to share the invitation, if I don't trust that they'll know to click on Zoom, you can always click on the title of the meeting, and right here where it says invite attendees, you can copy this join URL, or you can go all the way to the right and copy meeting information, and this will give them all the meetings, and then it gives them all the join information, including the phone numbers if they don't have a computer handy. So this is kind of the thorough invitation here, and if you want to copy this and share it in an announcement, you can just click on Copy Meeting Invitation. That copies it to my clipboard. And then if I wanted to send out an announcement, I could do that. Click on Announcement, click Plus Announcement, title it Zoom Schedule, something like this, and then simply paste it in to the announcement. Right click, select Paste. And that's going to give you, your students, all of this invitation information. One little trick I learned, next to the Zoom join links, all the links here, see how it says join Zoom meeting? If you want to make this active, you can click next to it and just push your space bar on your keyboard. That's going to turn this link active so that students won't have to copy and paste it. They can simply click on it. And that's a nice little touch you can do next to any links. Just click the space bar, and that way those links become active in the announcement. And now I can click Save, and that'll send it out, or I can delay posting if I want this to post at a later date. I can pick a date, so maybe Thursday would be a good time, the day before. All right, and then click Save. So that's basically how you're going to create a recurring meeting in Zoom inside of Canvas and send that invite information to your students. Thanks for watching.